EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
First and 10, Cunningham. He'll get it in the hands of Clark. Complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And again this time to the tailback. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A look at the Buccaneer starters now on defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cunningham. That's complete to Whitaker. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
To throw on 2nd down, Cunningham. This is Clark. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, right?
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there, with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak. Deal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
That throw by Young incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd and 10, Young. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect?
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Cunningham. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Cunningham to throw, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devin White in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away.
And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 52 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Cunningham looking to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Let's go.
7-7, our score after 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Cunningham. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now Young. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Young from the shotgun. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Cunningham. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, Cunningham. And that is incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches, why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
The kickoff team on the way. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Off play action, it's Cunningham. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Norris. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Here's Cunningham. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Let's go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Back to throw. Cunningham. He coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30, the 20, 10, and he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery for the Bucs. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point splits the uprights, and a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here?
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Looking to throw. Cunningham. Washington's got him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Mike 5-9, Mike 5-9. It's a party now.
Back to throw. Cunningham gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 33 yards that time.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. From the gun on 3rd down. Cunningham. The open man is Clark, complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And Young's throw there incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Young, throwing again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Young. That's caught by Howard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Young to throw it this time. Open man is Ross, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Their mobile quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. He'll get it in the hands of Clark, complete. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
They'll run on 3rd down with Falk. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Cunningham. And again, he finds Clark. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Now Cunningham. His throw incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Cunningham. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
Young to throw it. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To throw again on second down. Young, he's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Young. Throw left side complete. It's Davidson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Young loses the football. It's stripped. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going out big second...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
That throw by Young incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
4th down, Young. It's caught. He finds Myers. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up.
Out of the gun, it's Young. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly.
And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Cunningham. And an alley to run. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
Cunningham to throw. Complete to Washington. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 44-yard line. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cunningham looking to throw. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cunningham. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Norris.
Keep playing. Tighten up. Pull it together.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Back to throw. Cunningham. That's caught. It's Thomas. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And Young's throw there incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Looking for Clark. He's got him complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's Cunningham. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Cunningham. And he gets it down to the 32. Now they got to get to the line quickly. 2nd and 4. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race past the 20. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Second and 6. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Cunningham. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Come on, baby.
Now a first down throw. Cunningham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Buccaneers.